All right, who are we doing right now? Libra. All right, Libra, so let's tap in and see what's going on for you. I'm trying to think of the song that came in my head when I walked in the room and started clearing things. It's not coming to me, but we will get started and see. So this is for June 2026 when I post it, because today is the 2nd. It will be a little later than I usually do it. I don't know why I said that way. But the energy is the readings are timeless. The energy is just the focus because it is for the collective. However, if you get a personal reading, it's always focused on your energy, more accurate, and also more details that pertain to you. Now, understand that future is always potential and possibility because you are the one who chooses how you move. And you can always pick a different path or choose a different way to go. That is up to you. You have free will and sovereignty. So, Libra, I have the Light Seers Tarot in my hand, so I'm feeling like that's where we're going to start. I'm hearing to shuffle 4 times. So we're going to do that. That didn't do so well. But luckily today, unlike when I started recording these on the 111 on the clock, 29th or 30th, I was having a bit of a flare-up, so my thumbs were not doing so well. Was that 3 or 4? I can't remember. I heard we'll do one more, so we'll do one more. All right. What was that song? Because it felt important. It's not coming into my head. 1:33 on the clock. Let's see. For Libra, I'm seeing an anchor. Like an anchor on the ship, and it's coming out of, I don't know what that hole is called. That was so cute. There was one of those big, I call them a wish, just like I do the dandelion things. But you know, the big seeds that fly through the air. There was one and it caught my eye because it was going so slow. And yeah, so there's an anchor that was coming out of a porthole. That I was seeing in mind, third eye, whatever you want to call it. But literally outside of the window, there was like this white wispy wish or seed. So anchor, seed, planting things, or a wish, or all three coming through. So that's interesting. Yeah, but there's something about anchoring. And I'm hearing stormy seas, stormy seas. So Libra, have you been through some stormy seas? Because you're being called to anchor. But I don't feel like it's necessarily grounding. It's like stability, which still is part of that grounding, the foundation, but it's like allowing yourself to stop, like to actually pick a place kind of thing. That's what it feels like, that it's not looking for the perfect place to release the anchor. It's looking for the place where you feel like you can. Does that make sense? We will see. All right, so the cards that we got are the Ace of Swords, and we got the Magician. So I think that does make sense, because with the Ace of Swords, what I'm getting is, like I said, if you're looking for that perfect place. And so we have the stairs behind here, and in her mind, it's like she's mapping out what is going to be the perfect plan. And I always see the Fibonacci code when at 333 on the clock when I look at this card. But it's like mapping out that perfect plan and everything having to be perfect in order for it to, this light. It's the aha moment kind of thing. And so it's understanding that these stairs may be dark and they may not be as perfect as this spiral staircase is. But that's okay. So it's not overthinking things to the point that it's just to become a spiral in your mind is what I'm seeing. Because you are the magician. Okay, so that's what I was seeing. It doesn't have to be the perfect place, because it's being able to get out of your head and to feel it. So Libra, it's being able to feel in your body that something is right without, this is a horrible phrase, but I heard thinking it to death. Just thinking and overthinking, so that you're not necessarily putting that anchor down, because you're always looking for what's going to be the best place. And honestly, there may be a better place later, but you can always lift the anchor and move. You don't have to stay in the one place, but it's also allowing yourself to find whether this is a relationship, a situation, work, whatever it is, could even be your actual home or sailing off somewhere. But whatever it is, it's recognized, or it could be an opportunity is what I'm hearing. recognizing that you have the magic. It's not just what you think of it, it's how you feel. That's what I'm feeling, is like in your body. How does it feel in your body? I think I said this the other day in some message, but being able to recognize, how do I feel in my heart? Not just what I think in my head, not just these 2 higher chakras up here, but how do I feel in my heart? Am I feeling grounded? Like, is my solar plexus active and in a way that I'm feeling good about my choices, or am I feeling really anxious? With your sacral chakra, am I feeling like I'm really drawn to this? This is really me. I'm really passionate about this. And then also having that stability, but not with this. It feels kind of like I'm going like this and realizing I'm talking to you, Libra. And so it's like you're trying to find that balance, and it's hard for the scale to stop and be equal, because we're starting out with the overthinking. So it's being in the head more than allowing yourself to just exist and manifest and create and believe in. That's the biggest piece. Believe in what it is that you can have. I'm being told to look at the card. Yeah, like almost like when you're sending Reiki, the magic's coming out of his hand. So again, just remembering that you get to choose, but you get to create this. And when you first start out, I'm seeing right now a house, but it's only the foundation. That's all you have. Big crow just came past my window. That's all you have is the foundation. And so for some people, like for me, I can like build the house in my mind, or look at a room and I'm like, oh yeah, I want this is how I want it. But not all of us think that way. So it's being able to, whether you need the plan out on paper, okay, cool, but you're still planning it. Or somebody tells you this is what I can do, and they give you several options and you choose it. It's remembering that you still are the one in control. You still are the one who gets to decide what this looks like. And if somebody says, I don't know that that's possible, 7:11 on the clock, I just got that in a message I just did. But somebody says that's not possible, it's asking yourself, do you decide to say, oh, well, I'm going to keep looking? Or do you decide to drop the anchor and say, you know what, I'm going to go with it and just see what comes? Hoping that makes sense. We're going to keep moving forward. Are we going forward with the light seers? I'm hearing neon, so we'll go to the modern neon. I mean, not modern neon. I was looking at the modern witch and the inspired neon at the same time. So this one's stuck to the deck, so let's pull it. 9 of Pentacles. So with that, you've already planted some of the seeds. You've already grown some of the things that are leading you to this place that you're like, I want to be ready. Because with the 9 of Pentacles, you're coming up on the 10 of Pentacles. Everything you wanted and built for your abundance, your home, your family, your love, whatever that looks like, your friends. Sometimes family is friends, whatever it is for you. And you've planted the seeds, and Spirit's really saying to understand, you've planted the seeds. They're already rooted. It's not that you can't move, but it's also not being fearful of taking that next step. Because I'm also remembering that the 10 of Pentacles doesn't mean that it's the end. Life still happens. So you have the things that you want. So we're always going to be creating something with this Magician. It's an interesting read, Libra. But it's allowing yourself to, like, look, if you can see her face. I know my light is horrible. There's her face. She's very just content. She's content with what she has. And I feel like that's a big part of this message, is being content, but also letting yourself dream and understanding that both can coexist. There we go. Thank you, Spirit, because I felt like I was talking in circles. I knew what I was trying to say, but I didn't feel like it was coming through in the way I wanted it to. All right. So the card we had come out is the 6 of Cups. And what did I hear? Well, I heard make a wish first, which I didn't say because I'd seen the wish, but that may be part of this. Make a wish. But it's something about dreams. It's like all you can ever dream, all you can ever dream. And I'm not sure exactly what that means. You'll have to decide for you. But we have this adult handing this glowing bouquet of flowers to this child. I just recorded something that I'll put up, and it was about personal for me, about the inner child, not even being able to believe that I 10:10 on the clock when I said that, come on camera, and that I unapologetically am just me, not trying to minimize myself or anything like that. And maybe this is something, Libra, that is helpful for you to hear. Because that's the thing about being the magician, is alchemizing whatever pain came from the childhood and whatever love came from it too, because it's not one way or the other. So if there are some childhood things that are bringing back memories, or you're not even aware, maybe looking at that and saying, when is a time that I got things that I wanted and it felt magical? And when is a time that I didn't? And is that impacting me now? It feels really important to look at that inner child work right now. Anything else? The Hermit. So yeah, like I was saying, that introspection, I feel like is going to be really important for you to take some time to go within. I'm not seeing this necessarily as pulling fully away from the world or pulling yourself back for a while. I'm seeing this as you allowing yourself space and time to, whether it's through writing, you can record yourself, whatever, and you don't have to show it to anyone. But when I had worked in my pastoral, and I would have clients who weren't as interested in writing for whatever reason, and I get it. And it was 11:44 when I was saying that. Sometimes just recording yourself, whether that's voice recording or on camera, listen back to it, review your thoughts. Sometimes you'll look back at it and think, wow, that was really good. That triggered something for me. Now I'm thinking of some other things and that's making sense. Or you may think, I've come a long way. Whatever it is, this feels like a time of introspection. And when I'm looking at what would probably be a lantern in his hand right there, it just kind of reminded me of the vials and things with alchemy. And so it's understanding that this is also part of that magic. This is you taking whatever it is, the good memories, the not so great memories, things like that, and transforming it, alchemizing it into something that is helpful to you now, instead of sitting in a Nine of Swords energy. So notice that this woman, she looks very contemplative right now. Now, whenever I look at her with different readings, because there was one with Leo, I can't remember if it was 1 or 2 zodiac readings before, and she was looking a bit seductive to me. But this looks more to me like, okay, almost like an acceptance in this one. So Libra, take that as it resonates for you, but I feel like that's the big thing. All right, anything else from the Inspired Neon Tarot? That one's wanting to jump, and it did turn over. Libra, you got the Ace of Pentacles. Now, the big thing I always notice in this Neon Tarot one is that we have the hands around the pentacle, and they are green heart chakra, and the pentacle itself is this bright yellow solar plexus. So it's allowing yourself to embrace that part of you that feels anxious, that may overthink things, and say it's okay. And you got your heart. We're going to build this confidence within ourselves, and we've already planted the seeds, and we are at that point where this is the Ace of Pentacles. I keep hearing make a wish, make a wish. I know this isn't necessarily the make a wish card, but I keep hearing the make a wish. What you desire is already yours, is what I'm hearing. What you desire is already yours. All right, Libra, where are we going from there? We'll go to the Intuitive Whispers deck by Maud Hurst. Shuffle this twice. I used to be a better shuffler. It's fun that I'm not. Plus, in all fairness, I have little hands, always have, no matter what size I am. Little hands, little wrist, and these cards are pretty big. All right, Intuitive Whispers. For Libra, oh goodness, we already have an answer. 5, which is change, ground from the root. So this takes me back to that anchor, being able to set that anchor down. And then the grounding from the root definitely takes me back to that inner child work, going back to some of the beginning to decide what it looks like now as you grow. We have this, what looks like a full moon in front of her. Release the things that don't serve you. Allow yourself to keep and nurture the things that do so that you can fully blossom and just, I'm hearing just exist, just exist. And look at all that heart chakra, root chakra color. Absolutely beautiful. All right, so we'll put her there. Anything else for Libra? All right, we're going to take that one. $22, which breaks down to a 4. Your mind, your soul, your mind, your body, your soul. Still a lot of that heart chakra coming in, and this is just you being able to take that time to go into that introspective mode. Look at some of the things from your past. Look at where you are right now. Allow yourself to release some of the things that were hurtful, are still in your mind, that may be putting you into a space where that Ace of Swords is more overthinking versus the clear, straight path thinking. And recognize that you're the freaking magician, and you're already, like, you've got the 9 of Pentacles here. You've already created some of the things you want. It's just kind of believing that you can create more, or that it's meant for you, that the things you want that you may not have yet are coming to you. And with this card, I definitely see what's the word that I'm looking for? I feel like I'm stumbling over my words, Libra, and I'm not sure why. This is funny. But there's that glowing heart. Like, I feel like just you're creating this. I was going to say you're the one that's, it won't come to me. But there was a thought that was in my head. That's funny. Maybe I'm not supposed to say it because you're supposed to interpret it. But that's still frustrating because I like to be able to complete my sentences. Even though 1717 on the clock, if you watch a lot of my readings, because there's so many thoughts coming in and feelings, sensations, images, all these things at one time, I don't always complete my sentences. I'll start saying something else. No. All I'm hearing is rose water and water of renewal, or waters of renewal. So if that means anything to you, but otherwise, that's all I'm getting. Anything else, Spirit? I'm getting that is complete. So Libra, I recognize that message had some cohesion, but it also felt a little bit like stop and start. And that may, as I'm saying that, I'm seeing like the scales going like this. And so Spirit's just calling you to be able to focus on grounding and rebalancing yourself, and doing that through a way that you're honoring every part of the journey, every aspect of yourself. I hope that helps. Personal reads are available. I have several live sessions that can be booked weekly. So that's virtual, where you would meet with me in real time on camera. I also have some recorded ones where you get a personal reading and you can always go back and watch that at any time. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. And again, thank you for being here, for allowing me to hold space for you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, because I'm tapping into the collective energy, not just yours. But if there are things that click, I'm really grateful for that. And when you like, share, subscribe, comment, it definitely helps for the messages to get more places. And I get super excited about it too, I'll be honest. All right, Libra, until next time, take care.